Amidst our growing world, one of our biggest, most unavoidable problems that concerns every individual is the issue of air pollution emitted from the various forms of transportation we employ, from cars, airplanes, trains, and buses. All vehicles that combust fuel contribute in large proportions carbon monoxide, different kinds of nitrogen oxides, formaldehyde, among a slew of other toxic chemicals that adversely affect human and environmental health. In fact, vehicles contribute a majority of carbon monoxide and nitrous oxide emissions in America compared to other sources of pollution, such as industrial waste and stationary fuel combustion that fuel electric utilities, according to a 2021 report by the EPA. These pollutants decrease air quality, contribute towards declining environmental and health trends, and adversely affect life on Earth. The air pollution from sources such as cars and trucks are particularly damaging for humans and is responsible for worsening climate change. Particularly in the last 2 years, people have come to realize the necessity of good quality air. The spread of rampant wildfires in California forced many populations to seek shelter indoors amidst the smoke and smog from burning forests. Although short-term disruptions in air quality are noticeable, background air pollution continues to injure Americans as well. Long-term, bad air quality is detrimental to the elderly, young children, pregnant women, and people with respiratory conditions. This makes air pollution not only an environmental danger, but an incredibly present health hazard as well. It is imperative that atmospheric emissions are reduced as soon as possible. One solution that's been proposed by a number of environment protection proponents is reducing private transportation use entirely. While eliminating the use of vehicles such as cars is impossible, the reduced pollution in other countries because of their public transportation systems show that environmentally friendly transportation would benefit America. One country that follows an incredibly environmentally friendly transportation model is Japan. While their transportation system is much more energy efficient compared to the United States due to inherent factors such as less activity, smaller geography, and higher population density, Japan has made large advances in energy efficient transportation. Motivated by historic economic and political events, limitations on private modes of transport made public transportation attractive to Japanese consumers, where a need for high-speed, cost, and energy-efficient trains and buses demanded growth. However, while we cannot replicate other countries' transportation policies due to intrinsic characteristics that make America unique, the one aspect of Japan's energy-efficient model is their electric cars. Given that 76% of transportation used by Americans is still cars, we should target the use of cars as the major issue of transportation pollution. Using more environmentally friendly cars can be a step in the right direction if cars cannot be eliminated altogether. Compared to a traditional combustion engine car, hybrid models emit 65% less carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This would greatly reduce the amount of emissions produced per car over its lifetime. In population-dense cities, this could help improve air quality in local areas. A large-scale effect of combined reduced emissions not only means a reduction in environmental pollution, however. Replacing most vehicles with alternatives would cut carbon dioxide emissions by 80 to 90%, but also cut U.S. oil consumption by up to 90%. This would allow for the average American to save a lot of money on gas, but also improve the national economy by reducing the need for costly oil imports. This would also decrease our dependence on other countries for fossil fuels. With these multifaceted benefits, a large-scale change to energy-efficient cars is imperative. Of course, there are some objections to fuel-efficient or fuel alternative models. While some sources say that fuel alternative models are less energy efficient and produce more pollution than the regular car, this is generally not the case. While electric cars may contribute to upstream emissions when charging by using electricity made by fossil fuels, as well as requiring a more environmentally taxing production process, overall, electric vehicles and other fuel alternative cars produce less pollution over time. Because models such as hybrid and plug-in hybrid cars partially use electric motors, and electric vehicles use completely electric-powered engines, these automobiles produce reduced amounts and even no tailpipe emissions. Long-term, the reduced day-to-day emissions produced by energy-efficient cars makes choosing electric or hybrid options not only the environmentally friendly decision, but also the more cost-effective one. According to Consumer Reports, individuals may save almost $5,000 in the first 7 years from fuel costs alone. Comparing lifetime statistics between electric and hybrid car models to comparable combustion engine cars. And as electric power technology improves, both environmentally and economically, fuel alternative models from electric to hybrid just make more sense. Particularly as people that will soon be making our own decisions, gaining our independence, and even buying our own cars, we encompass a part of a demographic that can start implementing change in just the next couple of years. In application of what we know about the impact of transportation on air pollution, it's important to consider our footprint on the environment just our daily going abouts have. If the price tag on electric and hybrid cars are too high, however, individuals can still try to reduce their car emissions with good transportation habits. One of the easiest ways for any car owner to practice environmental protection. Some of the biggest ways cars contribute towards pollutant emissions is through idling, a state that wastes both gas and money. To combat this, drivers should consider reducing their idling times before and after driving, for example, in parking lots or on the driveway before leaving. Idling serves no practical purpose, wastes gas while providing no mileage, and needlessly pollutes the air. Other good car habits to employ are keeping your car in good condition, using a cloth and a window scraper to clean the windshield of frost, and accelerating gradually on the road. Among large-scale changes that should be made, governing bodies such as the Environmental Protection Agency in the U.S. that implement protective legislation are conducive to positive change, given timely and enterprising action. Further cultural and policy changes need to be made in order for the costly impacts of air pollution to be mitigated. Considering the rate at which climate change is progressing and technology is advancing, the future of Earth's environmental health can only be bright if we capitalize on the opportunity to make a difference now.